All right, let's dive in. We're talking about maybe the biggest shift our industry has ever seen, how artificial intelligence is completely rewriting the marketing playbook. And the crazy part, it's all happening faster than anyone ever expected. So let's jump right into it.
So let's start with a big one. It's a question you've got to ask yourself right now. Things are moving at a wild pace, and in this new world, you can't just keep up. You have to get ahead by really understanding and, embracing these powerful new tools.
Okay, so here's the plan. We'll kick things off with the AI marketing revolution, then jump into understanding customers, creating content with AI, and optimizing campaigns. We'll wrap it all up with a look at strategy and ethics. Let's get to it.
All right, Section 1, the AI marketing revolution. And listen, this isn't some sci-fi in the future kind of thing. Nope, it is happening right now, and it's happening fast and on a massive scale. And this really gets to the heart of it. AI isn't just another shiny new tool. It's a complete game changer. It lets us move away from those generic one-size-fits-all campaigns to something that's truly personal and on a scale we could never imagine before. It's the difference between sending a generic, "Hey, we miss you" email versus an email that says, "Hey, we know you love hiking, and that waterproof jacket you were looking at, it's now in your size." That's the kind of power we're talking about here.
This quote just nails it. The stakes are incredibly high. It's not about if you're going to use AI anymore. The real question is how you're going to use it to lead the pack. It's about getting out of that reactive mode, always playing catch-up, and instead getting out in front and actually shaping what customer engagement looks like tomorrow.
Okay, so that leads us perfectly into our next section, understanding customers with AI. This is where all that data we collect finally stops being just a bunch of numbers on a spreadsheet and starts turning into real, actionable insights about actual people.
So how does this actually work? Well, it's kind of like a three-step process. First, the AI crunches these massive data sets to find little groups of customers based on what they do, not just who they are. These are segments we'd probably miss completely. Then, step 2, it lets us target those groups with pinpoint accuracy. And finally, this is the best part, we can deliver personalized content that really hits home because it's actually relevant to them.
All right, next up is something I think is incredibly cool, and it's moving so fast. We're talking about using AI as your new creative partner for making amazing content. Just look at the difference here. On one hand, you've got the old way of doing things. Manual, super time-consuming, and almost impossible to scale up. It's a total bottleneck. But then, you bring in AI, and boom, that bottleneck is gone. Content creation becomes fast, automated, and scalable. And you know what that does? It frees up us humans to focus on the stuff we're great at, the big picture strategy, the truly original ideas.
And we're not just talking about writing emails here. The scope is just massive. Yeah, AI can whip up personalized emails and social posts, no problem. But it can also create completely new images, video clips, custom graphics, you name it. It's quickly becoming this all-in-one creative assistant for your entire team.
Okay, so we've figured out who we're talking to, and we've created some awesome content for them. Now what? Well, Section 4 is all about making sure that content actually works. We're talking about optimizing our campaigns with AI. This is where AI's brain really flexes its muscles. It can look at all your campaign data as it's happening, in real time. It can see what's working and what's bombing. And then, get this, it can automatically shift your budget or tweak your ads to get you the best possible results right there on the spot. It's about moving from hindsight to foresight. And this isn't just for one channel either. Think of AI as this central brain that connects to your entire marketing ecosystem. It can optimize your social media ads, sniff out new SEO keywords, personalize entire email campaigns, and even power those smart chatbots that get better with every single conversation.
All right, for our last section, let's pull back a bit and look at the big picture. Because it's one thing to have these powerful tools, but it's another to use them strategically and, this is a big one, ethically. So there's a key term you need to know: algorithmic marketing. It sounds complicated, but all it really means is using AI to automate marketing decisions on a large scale. And you really have to get your head around this, because when you have this kind of power, you also have a huge responsibility to your brand and your customers. And that brings us right to ethics. This is huge. We have to be super intentional about this. You've got to ask the tough questions, right? Are we handling people's data in a way that makes them trust us? Are we being upfront with them about how we're using AI? Are we checking our algorithms to make sure they're not biased? These aren't just nice-to-haves. They're absolutely critical for earning and keeping your customers' trust.
Look, just buying a couple of AI tools and calling it a day, that's not a strategy. To really make this work, you need a roadmap. What are you trying to achieve? How are these tools going to fit in with how you already work? And how are you going to train your team to use them? A solid plan is the difference between a huge success and a really expensive mistake.
So, let's do a quick flyby of what we covered. We kicked off with the whole AI revolution. Then we dove into how you can use it for targeting customers, creating content, and optimizing your campaigns. And we finished up with why having a smart, ethical strategy is so important. And that leaves us with one final big question. For you, this isn't just about trying to keep your head above water. This is a massive opportunity. So after everything we've talked about, think about it. Where can you start? What's that first step you're going to take to not just survive in this new age of AI, but to actually lead the way?